But I kind of miss the Taco Bell dog.
The Taco Bell dog? What is that?
Yeah, you don't remember that? Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Nigga, nah. I've never heard of the Taco Bell dog. Even Nathan's like, Taco Bell dog?
You've never seen the Taco Bell dog? You're older than I am.
What? Oh, like you talking about the
Chihuahua, not a hot dog.
The Chihuahua. Okay, yeah. I'm over here thinking like, when did,
about a hot dog?
Yeah, I'm like, when did fucking Taco Bell come up with hot dogs? That's what I thought. Yeah, no, I missed the little yo quiero Taco Bell.
I know, but it's racist, so they stopped it. But still,
yeah, it kind of was a little racist. Now that you think about it, because the dog always spoke in that Mexican accent.
I mean, Chihuahuas are from Chihuahua, Mexico, aren't they?
I mean, Chihuahuas are Chihuahuas. I don't know the origin of where they came from, that they named a town or a province or a region of Mexico of said dog. But learning new every day. What's up, baby? Yes.
Hey Google, where do Chihuahuas originate from?
The Chihuahua originated in Mexico.
Bam! So it wasn't racist.
I mean, that's how they want to take it as, but I liked it. I don't give a fuck. Bring back the little Mexican dog or the Chihuahua dog, however you want to put it. He was dope for you know what I'm saying, for commercials. Like, oh look, cute little Chihuahua dog. I want Taco Bell now.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm gonna add insult to injury, and I'm gonna say, we need Cheech being the voice of the new Taco Bell.
Yeah. Yo quiero Taco Bell, fool.
Only because I loved Oliver and Company. He was the Chihuahua in there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's been a minute.
Bro, these three kids, they watched the fuck out of the Disney database, so there's no way I could forget.
Damn. The Disney database. Where it all started for us.
Yeah, I wish I could trademark it, but I can't because it's Disney shit. But feel free to give me some shout outs, at least. Disney database. Nobody uses that.
Word. Watch all the classics and new ones.
All the classics. 95.5 PLE Talk Radio. I don't know what PLE is. Oh, Premium Live Event.
You start using wrestling talk in the middle of that?
Right? I don't know how that happened. It was just a coincidence. Coincidences happen. No, they don't. Which is why we're talking about euthanasia today, also known as assisted suicide. Well,
you know, that's crazy. Did they mash the two terms up? Because I remember assisted suicide and the word euthanasia being two separate terms. Did they just merge them now?
Euthanasia goes by a bunch of different names. We'll just dive right in. Fuck it. We are talking about the sad state of the healthcare industry around the world and euthanasia. Stay tuned. This is going to be morbid as fuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to
BreakRoom, yo.
your favorite rapper's favorite podcast.
like your show. You're very charismatic. You know the right things to say.
Welcome to the BreakRoom, the podcast that comes to you live every single week with a brand new topic, the banter that you've known for years now, and you keep coming back. Why? Because it's the best around. And no, this is not a malfunction that's happening. I just want to start this episode off by giving you the video, well, a video of why we're doing this today. Just take a look.
Suicide is legal if the In the Netherlands, assisted suicide is legal if the patient is experiencing unbearable suffering. Now, a physically healthy 28-year-old woman is getting euthanized for depression.
What is happening? Hi.
What's happened?
Let's go back to that because I don't know why it didn't show. Here it is right
In
here.
the Netherlands, assisted suicide is legal if the patient is experiencing unbearable suffering. Now, a physically healthy 28-year-old woman is getting euthanized for depression. I'll explain. A Dutch woman, Zoraya Terbach, has decided to legally end her life due to her struggles with crippling depression, autism, and borderline personality disorder. The Netherlands became the first country in the world to make assisted suicide legal in 2001. While it is generally used to end suffering of those suffering with terminal diseases or those in unbearable physical pain, Terbach marks a new step in those choosing euthanasia to deal with mental suffering. A doctor will first give her a sedative, followed by a drug that will stop her heart. Her boyfriend and 2 cats will be at her side until the end. Terbach said the doctors make the process very calming. Quote, "The doctor really takes her time. It is not as if they walk in and say, 'Lay down, please.' Most of the time, it is first a cup of coffee to settle the nerves and create a soft atmosphere." After Terbach's death, a euthanasia review committee will evaluate her case to ensure the doctor adhered to, quote, "due care criteria," and if so, the Dutch government will declare her life was lawfully ended. However, while this is legal in the Netherlands, this is a controversial case across the globe. Critics worry about ethical concerns, potential abuse from healthcare professionals, and impact on societal attitudes towards the value of life. They also find unbearable mental suffering harder to define than physical suffering. However, supporters of euthanasia believe it provides patients with control over end-of-life decisions. It respects individual autonomy and alleviates their suffering, whether mental or physical. Do you believe assisted euthanasia should be legal in the U.S.?
Well, boys, what do you think about a 28-year-old woman being euthanized because she has mild autism, severe depression, and borderline personality disorder?
I think she's devaluing her life as a whole, because I respect the idea of mental health, depression. I wouldn't want to look at it as any other kind of way as, than being serious. But you're literally just taking your own life because some reason why you can't handle something and think that's the easy way. Taking your life is never the answer, no matter what the issue is. Live your life to the fullest, no matter what's going on. But it's new. It's a new concept in other countries. While here, it's like we're not just let you take your life or be part of.
Actually, bro,
No?
7 territories in the United States have it legalized.
That's fucking crazy. There's literally medical, lawful ways to let you kill yourself. That's crazy. But to each their own. Everybody's making it a policy or a right to make said choice. It's just crazy. Ending your life or having somebody help you end your life is never always the answer, but I can't answer that for them. So it's still crazy to me.
When was the first time you heard that word, euthanasia?
Oh, when they put down dogs. When they euthanize the dogs, or euthanasia using some kind of some medical cocktail to slow your heart down.
Right. What about y'all? Yeah, there
about the same.
About the same.
That's what I would always heard is like when you euthanize a pet or something like that, it was more of like putting it out of its misery, or it's getting too old to where
Yeah.
it can't do anything really.
Yeah, I don't remember the first time I heard it, but yeah.
Well, what do y'all think about when y'all hear the name Dr. Kevorkian?
That
Crazy.
sounds familiar.
Crazy motherfucker.
Doesn't sound like a name I've heard.
Was he though?
It sounds like somebody that might have abused the system.
Yeah.
Kevorkian.
Yeah,
Kevorkian.
he was crazy.
Dr. Death.
Sounds like somebody who abused the system and just got too used to using that and killing people with or without.
Really, he was one of the first, if not the first, doctor to really get behind euthanasia. So much that he was doing it in the back of his van.
Wait, he was doing this in the back of his van.
Back of his van.
Yeah.
In 98, Kevorkian was arrested and tried for his role in the voluntary euthanasia of a man named Thomas Yoke, who had Lou Gehrig's disease, or ALS. He was convicted of second-degree murder and served 8 years of a 10 to 25-year prison sentence. He was released on parole June 1st of 2007 on the condition he would not offer advice about, participate in, or be present at the act of any type of euthanasia to any other person, nor that he promote or talk about the procedure of assisted suicide. Let me see. What were his numbers? I think it was like 119 people. I may be mixing that up with something else, though.
So
Let's see. What was you saying, Corey?
I was just like, what was his reasoning behind like giving the go ahead to do it? You know, like was it something that he believed in, or was it something that just like it was like, well, if you wanna do it so bad, I'll help you out?
No, it was something he believed in.
It was a little bit of both of what Corey said, though.
Of what? You want to do this? Then okay, let's do it. Yeah, because those people were suffering, so of course they're gonna want to do it. You know what I mean? But for him, it wasn't. It was about helping the people, but it was also about the research for him.
Yeah.
That man was all about research.
Everything's about research until the reports show something different.
So he kind of took the factors out of it and was just like, oh, this is not the factors. He kind of took his emotions out to the side and just was like, yo, this is for my research purposes.
The man contracted hepatitis C because he was experimenting on blood transfusions and fucking accidentally gave himself hepatitis C. The man was all about the science.
He accidentally gave it to himself.
Maybe
Crazy,
he wanted
right?
to be euthanized himself.
Maybe he did. When did he die? Did he die? Is he still alive? Oh, no, he died in 2011.
I don't think it's an okay thing to do it, but at the same time, if we're all about, oh, hey, if you want to live your life the way you live it, and if you don't value your own life, why are we going to keep wasting resources on you? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you could go to therapy, you can get help, you can do everything you need to do. But if you go to therapy for 30 years and nothing changes, and you say, oh, well, I've been feeling like this for a long time, I don't want to live no more.
You need to get out your fucking feelings and stop wasting everybody's time.
Right.
Fuckers, it's going to therapy going to therapy for more than a year is wasting your time.
I wouldn't say it's like wasting your time for more than a year, but
there's no reason to go to therapy longer than a year. You can get all the problems you need solved if you got the fucking heart to take care of it in 1 year. But most people don't, so they're just gonna keep wasting money on therapy.
Mm-hmm. Look at Tony Soprano.
Yeah, people keep forgetting
Nah,
that.
he was in love with his therapist.
I was about to say
You
he
can't, you
kind of yeah he's a little bit different. He kind of wanted
he
this
was in love with his
therapist,
therapist.
right?
Yeah, and no matter what kind of therapy you get, nobody's gonna give you the answers. They're just helping, guiding you on the work you still gotta do to getting
Bro,
there. But
Yeah.
nobody wants to do
no. Therapy is for you to realize that nobody can give you the answers. That the answers are there for you to find and
Right.
implement in your own life, the way that you live it, not the way that somebody else lives it. But that's why people.
Well, that's why people do that, because they keep looking for a quick answer. It's like the answer is within you
My
by
bad.
working.
I heard something
towards it.
outside, but I didn't really hear it because I had my headphones in.
Oh,
Go ahead, Migs. Or Dre,
No.
who was talking?
yeah, go ahead.
Makes it was you, Doofy.
But yeah, so like just in, in all essence, like you're saying, and I'm agreeing with you. You can't find an answer without looking within yourself to find that answer and work towards what you need. No one can ever give you the exact answer. They can just give you a guidance to a path that others have used and found a way, if not more people doing the same thing. But you just can't. People can't be lazy. Just like the whole thing with like people doing weight loss surgery. People do weight loss surgery, but then still don't want to work out, still don't want to change their habits.
People don't do that no more. They just do Ozempic.
What the fuck is that? Is that the lap band surgery thing?
Nah, it's a pill they take and it helps them lose weight.
Yeah, but see, even things like that, it's an alternative to not do the work, but still want the work done on you to get you the body or the image you're looking for.
Bro, but that's America. Everybody wants the shortcut, the easy way, the fast track.
Oh yeah.
And that's the problem nowadays. Just like now, devaluing your human life, that you would rather have an easy way or find a medical lawful way of taking your life because you can't do it no more. But now you got to drag your family, friends, and associates in there to watch you let yourself take your life because you just weren't strong enough to handle it. And like I said, I get mental health, I get depression, I get things are hard, but and you don't make it any easier. You just make it more difficult on everybody around you for the choices you made.
And a lot of people are overusing this mental health angle, and it's really
Yes,
just
they are.
bullshit. They're using
Yeah.
it because they know if I say something's wrong on mental health, you can't challenge that because you'll look like a bad person.
Yeah, because of cancel culture.
Because this woman, I ain't buying the whole her mental health is so bad she wants to kill herself. Like,
Bro, she looks happy
whatever.
as fuck with her cats.
I would say she got a boyfriend and 2 cats, and she's living in Sweden or Switzerland, whatever you said, whatever fucking place you at.
Was it Norway?
Yeah, right. All the same fucking shit. Whatever.
But see, the thing that I was saying is like people like you can only help somebody who wants to help themselves.
Right.
You can go that extra mile and help them for years, but it's kind of like dealing with like a drug addict who's going to keep relapsing.
Right.
At
You
some
enable
point,
them.
exactly. At some point, you're going to give up. At some point, you're going to be like, you know what, bro? I'm tired of you.
Yeah, but the thing is it really the government enabling people right now and giving them what they want, or is it more of a population control type of thing?
It's definitely
Like,
part of a population control, in my opinion.
Or
I don't know about that because it's not that widespread yet for them to be like, yeah, we're definitely helping you kill yourselves off.
it's
The
widespread
government-
enough.
It's not, but it's not really common for the government to assist your suicide. They'll do it a different way, but not like, oh, you can come into the office and we'll put a shot in you.
I mean,
But
overseas, it's becoming that common.
No, they want you to get out of here. They want you dead for sure, but not like.
But why is it okay for like if an older person is taking up a hospital room that they're like, hey, like he's been on a what is it not a ventilator, but I guess it's a ventilator, that type of machine, a respirator or something like that. Like he's been on that for a while. He's just taking up a hospital bed for somebody else. Hey, we're gonna offer euthanasia to you.
Yeah,
to the
but
family.
usually when they're on a machine that's breathing for them, they don't give them euthanasia. They just turn the machine off.
Yeah, but there's been people in the past too, and still going on probably right now. That's like, hey, they can't take care of themselves, and they're too old to take care of themselves. So they're kind of like, oh, hey, we're gonna offer what's up? We're gonna offer assisted suicide to you. We're gonna offer euthanasia to you. If
Right,
you think,
but overseas it's common like that. Like they'll offer it for anything, which we'll get into in a second. But in America, they don't offer it like that. They offer it more to terminally ill people or the elderly.
yeah,
Like this,
that's what I mean. Like the elderly people, like it's okay for the elderly to get into it, but if somebody who's 30 years old who has been abused their whole life and been, you know what I'm saying, who's been through the ringer their whole life, if they come to you at 30 and say, hey, look, I don't want to cope anymore. I don't want to live anymore. I need help. I don't want to be here.
Right. I mean, at the risk of
don't get the
sounding
government
insensitive,
involved and do it your fucking self.
right? At the risk of sounding insensitive, suck it up, Buttercup. Everybody got a hard life.
I ain't even gonna say suck it up, but like if you want to do it, don't. Why do we have to get the government involved?
Well, euthanasia, like you were saying, should be in cases like this. I got 2 videos for you, but this is the first one.
How about
It's the night before Jeanette Bowden's medically assisted death. She asked her family to decorate the lid of her coffin. The 87-year-old Saskatoon artist has allowed CBC News nearly unrestricted access to the final moments of her life and her death.
This is just come on.
Rest.
They be saying,
It was your choice.
yeah,
No one can make this choice but you.
right. Yeah, I know that. A person can have control.
They actually
and dignity
show you the
when they
needle
die
and shit.
without, say, being found head on the floor in my apartment.
Having a good time?
I am.
Right, that's a little
My mother
different.
and
You know, she
father,
lived her
when
life.
They got married.
Yeah, she old as shit.
Yeah.
She's suffering. She wants to die with dignity.
Into the
That's
timeless.
fine. I'll do it for you, mommy.
He's going to talk,
Come over.
and then
Well, why is it like?
Yeah, yeah.
It's okay if you're old,
Time
but
for
it ain't
Jeanette
okay if
to
you're
say
young.
There it
her
is right
final
there.
goodbyes, The empty IV line.
It's definitely not okay if you're young.
As he prepares
Viewer
for the
discretion is
in the
advised.
kitchen, it's time for Jeanette
You're
to
young,
say
you don't
her
know
final
shit.
goodbyes.
When you old, you don't know
So they're
shit.
not gonna.
You think you know everything when you're 80 years old? They can't even remember where they put their keys at, bro.
I love
Because
you
of
so
society.
much. And I'll
Because of
miss your
society.
presence, your physical
Depends
presence.
on who you are. Corey.
But I'll be watching over you.
See, that's not
Corey.
too bad.
You talking blasphemous words, Corey.
What?
Yeah, but see, that's different between an older person and a young person doing that.
She already experienced her life. A young person, though, they don't know shit, bro. They don't know nothing.
I'm not saying if you're 17, 18 years old that you should be able to kill yourself. or
Even
get
if you're
assisted
25,
suicide.
when you're 25, you really don't got it down, pat.
Man, let
You
people
really
do
don't have.
what they want to do. Where we gonna draw a line at, bro?
And what does knowledge have to do with anything in the first place? It don't matter what
Because
the fuck you know.
knowledge is, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Knowledge is completely. It
Yeah,
has.
but
It has a big.
just because you know something or you know more about life doesn't mean it makes sense to kill yourself. Like I get it, the more and more you know about the world, it might be really depressing, but that still does not. It doesn't mean it's like, all right, you should kill yourself now. It's like, nigga, everybody's depressed if you think you're 30 years old. That
Right.
don't mean you should kill yourself. Or the
No, that's
government
what I'm
should
trying to say.
assist in it.
You need to understand logically. It's not intuitive to kill yourself, even if you're depressed. That's the whole point of life. Like you understand, like overcoming different situations in your life.
Yeah, but now we got these younger kids that are so coddled and are so spoiled that they're gonna get the government to do it by saying they have mental illness.
Okay.
Like people can't do it themselves anymore. Like Dre was saying, like
you can still do it
back in
yourself.
the day, nah, they're not doing it themselves. That's taking the element of suicide away and putting it in somebody else's hands.
Because they're scared. Everybody's scared to die.
It's still suicide because you chose.
Everybody
your
ain't
life.
scared to die.
Nah, everybody's scared to die, no matter what people say.
Not everybody.
That's definitely not true.
Corey, there's people on this earth
that don't give a fuck, bro. There's
Nah,
niggas
there's
in the
people on this
military that
earth
they're not
that
scared.
like the adrenaline rush of being close to death.
I wouldn't
Nobody
even.
wants to
that's
die.
I'm not even
adrenaline
talking about
junkie.
that.
Take
I'm not
somebody
even.
who's suicidal, put a gun to their head, and watch them cry and be like, no, I don't want. I want to live. I want to live. I guarantee you.
And then you'll get that one
No, they're not crying
motherfucker.
because of that. They're crying
Right.
because they can't.
You'll get that one
They're not crying
motherfucker that
because
takes that gun
because they're
out
about
it
to
off
kill
his
themselves.
head,
They're
put it
crying
in his
because they
fucking
couldn't
mouth.
find the answer.
Then that's the one that had the answer. He does
No,
it to
bro. There's
himself.
people that don't really care.
I'm saying,
There's
but there's
spiritual
more.
people.
There's more than
There's
just
spiritual
one.
people that are not scared of dying. There's millions of people that's not scared of dying. All these spiritual people that like, oh, I just want to die already so I can go to heaven.
That's not
No,
even
they're
a
not.
thing, too.
You're speaking just from
Nobody
from what
believes
you
that.
you're speaking because you're scared to die. You can't speak for 8 billion people.
Right.
Yeah, but see, here's another thing too. If you're gonna do all that, by all means, do it within your own privacy and your own safety. Don't make it a mess. You know what I mean? But like now
You ain't safe no more.
you're
You're
not
gonna
safe.
make
You're
a
doing it
mess,
for
depending on
yo.
how
You mean to tell me you're doing this all for attention up until the moment you die? You're doing this for attention. Like and like I said,
Yeah.
once
Some
again,
people.
I'm not knocking
people.
mental health or anything that could be going on, but don't bitch out. Don't be a bitch in life by doing that on some real fuck shit. Like, you know, man the fuck up already. Like what generation and world did we come into that
But some people
at one point people manned up? Now everything's about bitching about it. You're bitching to die, you're bitching not to work, you're
but
bitching
it's
not to want to do more.
circumstances that have taken.
But
hey, Mix, you got to understand. Most of them, I agree with you. Most of them are little bitches. People are not made the same anymore. But what I'm trying to say is, some people actually are put in circumstances where they don't have people to teach them that strength, to teach them that or there's males missing in their life, or the women they can't do it by themselves, or they have shitty parents. Some of them do have good parents, and they just fucking something's wrong with them. But there are situations where people are just not
but
taught
I mean,
strength anymore.
normal human beings learn from their mistakes, or they learn from their surroundings, or they learn from things like. I mean, it's cliche to say, but people also learn things from movies, TV, music, books, whatever the fuck. Right. So you can't be that. What's the right word here?
But attention span has a lot to do with it. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I don't want to hear that shit.
Bro, but there's people that don't pay attention to movies, bro.
But
how you don't pay attention to life, bro?
There's always people who don't pay attention to
people
shit,
stuck in their phone. People not paying attention to their surroundings.
That's
I go outside every day. People are not paying attention to anything.
That's a very recent thing in human history.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Attention because of phones.
I agree.
Hey, you know, I
see it for myself.
I watched Idiocracy today. I never seen that movie until today, and I don't know if y'all saw it. Y'all probably
Luke
did.
Wilson, where they go to the future and stuff like that. Yeah.
And the thing that stuck out to me was like, because we talking about assisted suicide. I'm like, yo, there's way too many people on planet Earth in 500 years. If everything goes as bad as they keep saying it's gonna go, there's no way you're gonna have this many people on planet Earth still. I don't care how dumb people are, how horny people are. You're gonna have way more people say, "Fuck it." Why would we keep living?
I mean, what's honestly the best way to breed all of that out?
I
breed what out?
Everything. You breed disease out.
Because right now, I don't think we overpopulate. You're breaking up, Jay.
You're crazy.
Breaking up. I hear you.
Nah, I think that's you breaking up.
Yeah, Macho.
We're not overpopulated.
Yes, we are.
No.
We're not. There's no such thing as overpopulation. It's not about human numbers. It's about resources. It's about the resources they don't want to give out to everybody. It's never about too many people on the planet.
That's why I was trying to tell Corey earlier. We was having a conversation about it. It's about the resources. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people, it'll be just a family of 4 and they own 500 acres. And there's nothing there, no vegetation, no animals. They might have 2 horses. That's the fuck it, because they rich. So the resources is what we lack. You would say we're under
But
resourced.
think about it. But think about it like
it's not
this.
even that they lack resources.
We don't even make families like we used to, Corey.
That's real. That's
people
real
used
shit.
to
Think about
people
it
used
like
to-
this, bro.
People used to have 12 kids, 15 kids, bro.
But think of this is what I'm saying. It don't
Before
matter.
it was worse.
If you have but listen, back then there wasn't 8 billion people. There was like 5 or 4 or 3 or 2. There wasn't that many people. When they were having 18 kids in one family, that's one family. Now people are selling all these acres to subdivisions because we can't afford to even live right now. There's too many people to feed. There's too many people to live off of.
That's because they choose to stay in the same area and build up, as opposed to spreading out and building wide.
Because everybody wants their own shit. There's too many people. There's too many people.
If you build wide, everybody can have their
Not
own
gonna
shit.
have enough.
You
I feel like if you build
if you
up,
build wide,
if you build
nobody
up,
there's not going to be any more land, and eventually, if you keep building wide,
if you build up,
Corey, after you exhaust the land, then you build up. But there's
Wait,
so
but
much.
hold on. Do you understand how much fucking land there is on the planet?
No, I
that
get
people
it.
don't
I
inhabit?
understand. I understand, but what
Even
I'm
in
saying,
America, like if you
But
drive
Tupac
across
said that
America,
shit.
most
what
of
I'm
America
saying-
is farmland still. That Bill Gates owns.
Yo,
Shout out to Bill
there's
Gates.
people, Corey. There's people that own. There's people that we don't even know. We don't even know because they're not being put in the in publicity in the public. There's people that own the land strips just for their fucking planes, bro. Land strips that go 10 miles long, bro, and that's just fucking concrete, bro. And,
you know
and
why?
that's just one
you know why
person.
they have it, and you know why they haven't put any resources on it is because we're cutting down too many forests, too many wilderness. Like we're cutting down too
For
much stuff.
them. For them.
It don't matter who it's for. We're cutting down too much to make money for these other
Alright.
people.
But there's still land there.
But listen,
There's
there's other.
still land.
But listen, there's other people here, like where I'm from, right? There used to be miles and miles and miles of orange groves. They're selling every bit of it now for housing developments because their
But you know what?
grandkids who used to. But
That's not why though.
But because their grandkids don't want to run.
Nah, it's not even that, bro.
Yeah,
'Cause when I
that's
was
a
out
part.
there, I was
That's
listening to that shit.
But
Nah,
he's right.
it's not.
That's a
he's right.
piece because these
Partially
kids are
right,
lazy.
yeah.
They don't want to take
They
over
are.
the family.
They
That's what
are.
I'm saying.
But it's more because they can't grow oranges as good as they used to in Florida. It's too hot. The fucking
And
shit
why
burns.
why is it too hot? Because they're cutting down too many trees, bro. We don't have any shade anymore. We don't have any photosynthesis.
Yeah, but you know why they're really cutting down all those trees? One of the reasons, I'm not going to say it's all of the reason, but one of the reasons is
Make more
because
money.
they don't want free food, which is why we got all this motherfucking pollen out here. Because when they plant trees, they're only planting the fucking male ones and fuck the females because the females are the fruit bearers.
And they want to give us processed shit that's not real.
And yet again, this comes back to why that the old people, like you were saying, they don't know shit. Why they have dementias and hints of Alzheimer's is because the food. This is another
Bro,
thing.
I'm just
They're
saying,
doing it all wrong. They're doing it all wrong.
We
is
veered
what it
off
is.
crazy,
And they
right?
know
But
they are.
It's making me realize that, you know, medically induced euthanasia is probably not a bad idea right about now.
No, it's they need to stop investing money into fucking giving people the opportunity to kill themselves. Other than they should
Yeah, but
invest their
really,
fucking money.
really, how much are you really spending on the injection? Probably nothing.
Bro, they spend their money, bro. Anything that's fucking hospitalization, anything that has to do with fucking having nurses or
everything has a
syringe,
cost.
Take them out back.
that
put
shit
a
costs
308,
money.
Put
Bro,
a
anything
bullet in their head and move it
corrosive
on,
you put in
bro.
the veins, we die.
Just put them in the room, bro.
Yo,
just put them in
put
the
'em-
room.
take 'em
Just
out
play
back.
Russian roulette. Yo, go in there.
Take them
Let
out
three
back.
tries.
Turn them into a tree. That's it. We need
Look,
more
I
trees
don't-
anyway. Kill them, bury
I
them,
don't-
turn them into a tree. You helping out the world by killing yourself. That's it.
Right. I don't remember.
You're right. I kind of agree
what
with that.
motherfucking. Now, first of all, let's just say we don't condone suicide. Right?
We don't condone suicide, but we do condone the ridding of fucking retarded ass people.
One thing I don't recommend either is that if you are feeling like you should off yourself, right? Don't call the suicide hotline. Seriously.
No.
Because they'll make it a whole lot worse. What you need to do is find the one person that you can count on. If you can't count on anybody, take a shot in the dark. Dial a number, because not all of humanity is dickheads. Somebody will pick up that you can actually talk to at some point. If
I
not,
don't
hit
think
me
you
up on
should.
Instagram.
I'm not
There's somebody.
condoning. I'm not
There's somebody.
condoning
There's
anybody
somebody
killing
out
themselves.
there.
Let me get my point straight. I'm sorry for that too, because I may have come off misconstrued. I'm not condoning suicide, because I've called the hotline. You know what I'm saying? People I know have called it, and it doesn't help as much as people think it does. Like
No,
you said. But if you can't confide in somebody, yeah, go talk to a stranger. Go to a bar, get a drink, and just start talking to a stranger until they close that bitch down. You'll find a friend. You know what I'm saying?
Don't just give up. Like,
yeah,
you
don't
can talk
give
to
up.
somebody.
But if your life is horrible,
My thing is, what I want to know.
Do what you wanna do.
I'm sorry to cut you off, bro. My fault. What I want to know is how hard or easy it is to get this procedure done. Say I want to kill myself, Jay. How hard is it for me to actually get accepted for this procedure?
Now, it depends on where you are.
Do I don't know. Say I live in the area where they supply this kind of procedure. What do I need to
in order
get it
to answer that question, you have to know all the classifications of euthanasia, right? Now, there's 3 types of euthanasia according to whether a person gives informed consent: voluntary, non-voluntary, or involuntary, right? Voluntary euthanasia is conducted with the consent of a patient. Active voluntary euthanasia is legal in Belgium, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands. Passive voluntary euthanasia is legal throughout the U.S. per Cruzan versus Director, Missouri Department of Health. When the patient brings about their own death with the assistance of a physician, the term assisted suicide is often used instead. Assisted suicide is legal in Switzerland and the U.S., in California, Oregon, Washington, Montana, and Vermont. Non-voluntary euthanasia is conducted when the consent of a patient is unavailable. Examples include child euthanasia, which is illegal worldwide but decriminalized under certain specific circumstances in the Netherlands, under the Gregorian Protocol. Passive forms of non-voluntary euthanasia are legal in a number of countries under specific conditions, and involuntary euthanasia is conducted against the will of a patient. Passive and active euthanasia, with voluntary and non-voluntary and involuntary types, can be further divided into passive or active variants. Passive euthanasia entails the withholding treatment necessary for the continuance of life. Active euthanasia entails the use of lethal substances or forces and is more controversial. While some authors consider these terms to be misleading and unhelpful, they are nonetheless commonly used in some cases, such as the administration of increasingly necessary but toxic doses of painkillers. There's a debate whether or not to regard the practice as active or passive.
So I have to say, I still have to get some sort of consent from a doctor. Right?
Yeah, you need. So even in the Netherlands, where you can seemingly get euthanized for anything you fucking want, you have to get at least 2 doctors to sign off on it. Now, that girl, I believe it was the girl that we just played. If not, it was a 23-year-old that did the same thing. She needed consent from 2 doctors. She consulted with 2 doctors. One doctor signed off on it. The other doctor didn't sign off on it, so they needed a tiebreaker and got another doctor, and he eventually signed off on it.
What if these doctors don't believe in suicide? What if they're religious and say, "Oh no, that's a sin in my eyes. I'm not
Most doctors, they're gonna go with what the studies show.
They're gonna go with whatever they make the most money off of, bro. Because somebody's got to pay for these shots, and somebody's getting paid for these shots.
Absolutely. Not all doctors are dirtbags, bro. I don't believe in that.
I'm not saying all doctors are dirtbags.
I understand what you're saying too. That I can agree with that. Some doctors might just do it, be like, "Hey, listen, we're gonna get a nice little commission check." You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the age to get this procedure done, I feel like you should at least be 30 plus. Like
I agree with
20,
that.
23 is crazy, bro.
I can agree with that. 20.
That's
That's
crazy.
what I said. 30. Anything higher than 30, yeah. You know
Now,
what I'm saying?
most doctors are really
it's-
against it though, because
what I'm
that goes
saying.
against the Hippocratic Oath.
It still seems like it's not an easy thing to go about getting.
But the doctors are the doctors who are against it are the same ones who write prescriptions and get people hooked on drugs. What you like?
Because they really, because those doctors are kind of delusional. Those doctors really believe in the science behind this medication. They really believe that this medicine is not hindering people. Like they look at it like, oh, it's helping them out. You know,
Oh, no.
They don't see it as. They really believe that the science works.
Because you can go in there for shoulder pain and a little bit of anxiety, and they'll write you 150 milligrams of Xanax and painkillers at the same dosage.
Right.
And they'll gladly sign it and walk you out of the room. Oh, thanks. Come back when your prescription's done. We'll refill it.
Right. See, for all that, there might as well be a limit or like some kind of guidelines to how old you have to be, bare minimum, to even be approved for this. Because you know why? If you're still under 30 or 35 and you're just with respect, just bitching about life, it's because you're not doing much about it. That you need somebody else to help you kill yourself or end your life. Like you should be put in some kind of program so that way the doctors can see where your mental state is, so that way they can help get you off of that idea, not fucking encourage it. Because like I said earlier, you're devaluing human life. If it's that easy to be like, hey, I need help. I don't like the way my life's going. I need help killing me.
Yeah, but when does it cross the line?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was getting to. Where is that line being drawn if it's that easy to end your life, but then you got people going to jail for murdering? Like now it's going to create a huge fucking confusion.
Now there was a case, and I should have wrote it down because I don't exactly remember what country it was in, but this guy got convicted for life for raping and murdering a woman. He was in jail for X amount of years, and he figured out, whether through therapy or through self-reflection, that these thoughts aren't normal and they're not going to stop. So he asked to be euthanized because the thoughts were too much to control and he couldn't overcome them. So he wanted to be euthanized because he was going to keep doing the things that he didn't want to do. Now the family objected to it because they want him to suffer, which I agree with.
But just what how much suffering is a motherfucker gonna do in jail, getting 3 meals a day? Just let him die.
Exactly.
Right, but they don't want to give him the satisfaction.
He's getting
but he already he already got the satisfaction.
He getting butt in jail.
Even if, regardless of what he doing, he already killed who he killed. That shit, all the other shit don't matter.
But that's the same thing as if somebody says, "Oh, hey, I wanna die. I'm tired of my life." Oh, well, we can't help you with that. We're gonna throw you in a psych ward. All right, well, Florida does the death penalty. I'm gonna go out and kill 10 people, and they're just gonna kill
Florida
me.
does the death penalty, yet nobody's been put to death in a very long time.
But that it still remains that this whole process is very.
What's this guy's name? Roger. What's the guy's name? Rogers. Rogers is still alive. He was supposed to be there.
Yeah, the cross country killer.
It's a joke,
he's
bro.
still alive.
It's a joke.
Yeah, this is all a joke. Like the priorities.
I think.
And
my thing is, what leads these 20-year-old people to want to kill themselves? They have an expectation. They have expectations that are this high due to what? I feel like social media, if it's not managed correctly, creates a lot of stress, bro.
I would say it's not just social media.
It has to be, bro. It has to be.
It's not just social media.
In the 90s, bro, we did not have this much stress.
Because everything, not that much. It wasn't as expensive to live in the 90s, bro.
The conversation
was. Minimum wage was $4.50. It was the same shit.
Medically assisted suicide at that.
Costed less.
Bro,
but I'm saying people have.
But you got paid less, so it was the same thing. It's all. It's, bro. Yes, it is, Corey. It's all the same shit. In the 90s, you paid rent for a 3-bedroom apartment was $900, but you got paid $4 an hour.
It don't matter if you're making 25 an hour in Florida, you still can't even afford a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yes, you can.
Bro, but that's everywhere.
Exactly.
It is everywhere, even Arizona
But I'm just
now.
saying, Florida and New York, the highest places to live in the United States. You can look it up. They already said.
If you get $800 a week, you can pay rent.
But what I'm saying, the cost of living is going higher, and the price of what we're making isn't. So you can sit here and say, "Oh, in the '90s we lived better. We lived better." You can't afford to live the same life your parents lived. Me being 28, my mom had her own house and 2 kids at 25, 27. I mean, her own house payment, single mom. I can't do that. I would never bring a kid into my life right now because I can't afford it. And truthfully, I can't afford it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, where all these people who are contemplating their life.
If everybody thought like that, the world would never have kids, bro.
Hey, listen, that was like
we don't need to
idiocracy.
stop having
That was
kids,
the
bro.
same shit, idiocracy. The smart people were like, we'll wait to have kids, and they don't have kids. And then you got people who are the worst fucking people you could ever have, got 17 children today, right now. It's like, yeah, you keep fucking around because you ain't got nothing to live for.
Yeah, dead
Why
ass.
not? What does it matter?
Priorities are not straightened out.
But there wasn't
build on
stressed
foundation.
people. That the kids weren't stressed at 8 years old. 10-year-old, 11-year-olds talking about I want to kill myself. Talking about I'm poor. You just say
we're
why
on the topic.
If you're gonna go that deep, that's like, oh hey, yeah, that's
what it is.
Because all these
Social
people are living so much
social
better.
media is destroying the youth, bro. And you
look,
sit here and say it's not.
Macho, you right. Social media has definitely been really bad for the last
It's
15
not
years for
manageable.
kids.
These people don't know how to manage it.
But at
That's what
the
it is.
same time, the issues that people face today, they faced 100 years ago, and people
Right.
still committed suicide all throughout human history.
Yeah, but not as much as now.
It's just a lack of effort now at this point. Nobody wants to work as hard as necessary to get it done because they're just.
Wait, are you talking about life or suicide?
Oh no, like what lead well both actually, because at the end of the day, for you to even get there, you're giving up on yourself, you're not trying. There are other things and other avenues of resource to get that information, but like you're not strong enough in yourself to do that. So now you're just finding any excuse to not only be lazy but find other excuses to support your ideals when you're just, again, you're devaluing your life. Like there's more to do. Just fucking get up and try, like just like everything else.
Okay, I feel like
before we get too left
sorry,
with the suicide shit, like we are talking about suicide, but we're talking about a different type of suicide. And now they're not even, like you guys are saying, to your guys' points, they're not doing it the way we're traditionally used to it. People aren't just offing themselves. They're not overdosing purposefully. They're not jumping off of buildings. They are. There still are people doing it, but there are.
I'm saying the assisted suicide is still you put some drugs in your body to kill you. It's just
you're right, but you're taking the you part out of it. Unless you get the take at home test.
It's not. You're not.
Don't get me wrong.
Out of it, you're adding people to your suicide.
Right, but even
you still are in control of it. You still in control.
Even traditional suicide, you're adding people to it.
Yeah,
but it's different. It's different.
I'd rather them kill themselves like that, though. I ain't gonna lie.
For you to get somebody to say, "Hey, I'm about to do this," and they agree to it, is different than saying, "I'm gonna kill myself," and then your family has to deal with it after the fact.
What happens when you have no choice?
What do you mean when you have no choice?
When you have no voice, where do you draw the line?
You said what?
Toronto,
no voice.
Is that Tucker Carlson?
From depression and diabetes. On that basis alone, doctors have just approved her son's assisted suicide. A doctor called Joshua Tepper signed off on it.
I don't know if you guys caught that, so I'm gonna run that back real quick.
So Margaret Marcella is a mother who lives outside Toronto, Canada.
What I caught was the doctor called, not doctor named. That was weird.
Let me see. Play it.
He's got a 23-year-old son who suffers from depression and diabetes. Also, he doesn't have a girlfriend. On that basis alone, doctors have just approved her son's assisted suicide. A doctor called Joshua Tepper signed off on it to kill the boy because he's sad and doesn't have a girlfriend. We know this because
I like
in
this guy.
Substack Common Sense, you can read the details, and you should. They're shocking. This is about to become a lot more common in Canada as a way of cutting down on healthcare costs. By March, a new law in Canada is expected to allow children to be killed by doctors, by state doctors, without the approval of their parents.
Oh, nah, they do it too much. Nah, they do it too much.
At Creighton School of Medicine. He's the author of Losing
I
Our
thought
Dignity.
Canada was the place to be.
Tonight.
No.
I sure appreciate your coming on to assess this. We've had this conversation multiple times, and each time we do, we reach a new and more terrifying level.
Video courtesy of TikTok and Fox News.
Because the kids are depressed.
Learning purposes only.
Let's see if I have the laundry list right, Tucker, at this point. We've got kids now, or what they call mature minors. We've got the homeless. We talked about that last time. The poor, the disabled, those with chronic pain. And then right before coming on, I researched a physicians group in Quebec that wants to kill newborn infants. That's what's coming next. The Toronto Star, Tucker, a very liberal paper in Canada, called this Hunger Games social Darwinism. This is what happens, Tucker, when autonomy just goes nuts.
I mean, you hate to, I really try never to invoke the Nazis because, you know, for many reasons. But they are famous for doing this exact thing. Use doctors to murder the weakest in your society. And I thought that doctors kind of agreed after the Second World War.
Breathe that shit out.
Like this.
Bro,
but imagine
you would think, and I'm the same way.
doctor
I think
killing
we
your
should
child without your
be
consent.
very, very hesitant.
Bro, then I'm killing him without his consent.
Bro, that's murder, bro.
But it's legal. It's legal murder.
I know, but it's legitimate murder because they're trying to make a law where they don't need consent from the parent.
No, that's
the child cannot make a decision for himself. The parent is responsible for making decisions for his child. Now you're gonna say, "Hey, listen, I don't give a fuck if he came out your fucking nutsack or your fucking womb. I'm gonna kill your child because I feel like he's dumb. He's depressed. He's 1 year old and he shows signs of chronic depression coming in the near future. That's crazy, bro. I don't know. What you think? What you think, Jay? If they told you that, what God forbid?
If they told you what?
They say, "Hey, listen, we're gonna ice one of your daughters because we feel like one of your daughters might be a serial killer or she's gonna have chronic depression."
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something right now.
This is hypothetical.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. My kids are definitely walking out of their hole. I don't know if me and the doctor are gonna be able to walk out of there, but I know the doctor. I mean, my kids are gonna walk out of there.
They're gonna be in school the next day.
Right. I may not be at work the next day, and neither will the doctor. But
the doctor won't be practicing medicine.
He won't be able to.
Yes.
He'll be breathing. I'll leave him breathing.
But that's crazy, bro. Like, but that's gonna create so much problems when it comes to parenting and the parents versus the medical industry. Like, it's gonna cause a lot of friction, bro.
No, that's too much. I agree.
That's crazy.
Could you imagine being a single Canadian mother, right?
No,
you just gave birth.
I will boot that.
I can't imagine that.
That's very difficult. I never ever seen a pregnant.
But
I never ever seen a pregnant Canadian.
So let me rephrase that. Think about this scenario.
I never seen a pregnant Canadian.
Yo, they don't look like they do in South Park. I'll tell you that.
They do, right?
Well, peep this scenario, right? Single Canadian mother goes to give birth in the hospital, right? She wakes up. Well, she gives birth. She hears the baby cry. She wakes up to be told that they euthanized her baby. What the fuck does she do?
Why did they euthanize the baby? Just because?
Who knows? Just make something up. Oh, the baby was born with diabetes and hypertension. So we thought to forego a life of suffering, we would just end his misery on day one.
Yeah.
No, that's too far. That's too much.
Yeah, but that's what they're basically saying, though.
I think that news story is a little exaggerating it for the fucking.
It probably is, but let's hypothetically say this is true.
No. I mean, like, for it to be widespread and a real concern is something that we really far away from. This is not going to be normal for
I don't
10-year-olds
think
to
we that
say,
far
I
away
want.
from it
I
though,
don't
bro.
think we're
You
that
don't.
far.
You
Maybe
think? Do you think a whole generation of 10-year-olds is going to go to doctors with no parent in sight and say, "Yeah, I want to kill myself," and the doctor's going to say, "Cool, let's do this." You think that's something that's going to
Now
be?
Hell no.
nowadays, I would not be
That's
surprised.
not gonna. I'm not saying.
surprised.
Listen. If it happens once, that's too many times. But it's not gonna be something that happens so regular. It's gonna be a problem.
I
Not
did.
yet.
I did see a documentary not too long, like a YouTube documentary, where they were talking about that depression before used to, like they did like a little research where like actual of signs of real depression started hitting kids around 14, 15 in the 80s and the 90s and early 2000s. But the 2010s, they're starting to see signs of kids getting signs of depression from 7 to 10 years old now. They're getting it earlier now. So
Right.
now, so maybe in the near future, I won't say too far in the future, but not so early in the future, maybe like 10-year span, it might be a thing. I kind of agree
Bro,
with Jason. It might be a thing because
let me
these
just tell
kids-
you that Canada already feels like it's a thing. Look at this.
Have you seen the madness of Canada's assisted suicide program? They're going into teens who have depression and they're telling them that they have a biological disease, which is not even true. That it can't be fixed. And so they may as well embrace euthanasia. They may as well end their life in order to escape this hell of depression. This is medical malpractice. This is delusion. This is unbelievable that something like this is happening. But of course it is. For example, check out this ad that they ran.
Last breaths are sacred. When I imagine my final days, I see bubbles. I see the ocean. I see music. Even now, as I seek help to end my life, there is still so much beauty. You just have to be brave enough to see it.
What a strange thing to spend money on promoting. And you know,
My man, they got a fucking commercial to tell you to kill yourself, bro.
That dude said it so perfectly. He
And
said
that
it so
that is
right,
wild
bro.
that they're trying to make it sound like it's so.
He
It's
said,
so,
"Why would
like,
you
dignifying.
waste money in promoting something about killing yourself,
bro?"
The bitch want to see bubbles in oceans. Fuck your bubbles and fuck your oceans.
Go
Well,
out
if
and
you're
blow
dying,
some
if you're
bubbles.
dying from terminal cancer and there's no coming back, different story. You know what I'm saying? But if you have depression, that is not a disease, bro. That is
Right. I mean, if you have severe depression and you're worried about
There's
dying
something
on
that
your
you believe in
deathbed to
yourself.
see the ocean and bubbles, why don't you get the fuck up and go see the ocean and blow bubbles while you're fucking there? You'll live a lot longer. You'll be happy.
I don't think you should go the extent of say depression isn't a disease. I wouldn't
It's a
say
disease when you have problems, when you have brain damage or there's something wrong with your brain, then you can label it as a disease. But if you don't have no mental or brain disruptions in your brain, actual disruptions in your brain, it is not a disease. It is actual something that you decided about yourself because my life is so fucked up. My life this, my life that. So you take that opinion, you attach yourself to that opinion, and you solidify that opinion over and over and over again to become so concrete, you believe it. You say, I am a piece of shit. I don't deserve to be here. And it don't happen overnight, obviously, but being depressed and sad is not a disease unless you have brain damage of some sort.
Bro, whether
That's what
mild
I've
or severe, I think every person in every form or fashion has some type of depression.
Yeah,
it's not really that. It's just everybody can be depressed.
There's a difference between depression and envy.
Yeah,
because you can be envious. You can be envious of someone else's life you see on social media, but
and still be happy as fuck.
And still be happy, but to be depressed about it is to be like, "Yo, my life sucks." You know what I'm saying? Like,
because you choose to believe that your life sucks.
No, your life can pretty much suck. You don't have to believe it.
But who? No, but who's the one that says that your life sucks? You. You are the dictator of your thoughts, and when you have thoughts coming through your mind, you have to sit behind your thought, observe them completely, analyze them, and say this is useful, this is not useful. All right, this is okay. That's how you gotta be able to conduct your mind. If you don't have people to teach you these things, you have to go find them. You say because when you don't have control, it becomes like an overflowing trash bin that hasn't been changed for 2 months when it just creates mold and fucking all sorts of issues if you don't control
Where would
your
you
mind.
go? Where would one go to find it?
You go to find someone that had the same issue as you, and they came up with a somewhat solution. Let's say they found a solution. You don't want to go to someone that never dealt with depression to the rate of what you dealt with. So if that person, oh yeah, I could teach you, but he never really dealt with depression on the level that you would think yours is on. You want to find someone that dealt with the same type of depression and they have found a kind of solution, so maybe you can pick their brain. You say you want the whole thing with depression is you have to try to find an answer, a solution that works for you. But once you quit, that's a whole other thing in itself.
But that in itself is not even a solution. It's not a solution people need. It's guidance. If there's no guidance on how to handle all that, that's
the
where
way
you lose control of it all.
Yeah, but you have to find guidance from someone that dealt with it before. You can't go. It's like saying, "Oh, I want to learn how to play basketball," and you try to go learn it from fucking Joe down the block that never played basketball. You're gonna go to someone that knows basketball,
right,
that can teach you right.
But even then, that's not a solution. That's guidance. That's somebody.
Yeah,
who's
but
dealing
that
with
guidance will help you go inwards. No one lives inside your consciousness. No one has a grasp of it. Only you. So you
I
decide.
get that. Here's what I'm trying
So
to say.
the guidance is going to help you.
to live.
But
Yeah,
here's
the
what I'm saying.
guidance
It's
is
not
going
an
to help
actual.
you.
Yeah, I get that. But here's what I'm saying. Why it's not an actual solution. A solution is an end all be all. If everybody did that, then everything would be solved. The reason why I say it's guidance is because not everybody is getting it solved, and nobody is sticking in with the fight. Everybody wants the answers. Everybody wants a quote unquote solution to be an end all be all for their answers. And when there's not, that's why they give up. It's because they're losing support of their guidance, not so much of a solution. The solution's in yourself to keep up the fight. Just like if you're trying to lift something, if you're trying to solve a puzzle, if you're trying to figure out directions with no map.
Yourself, where you go for counsel, for guidance, and you
need
go
guidance,
to someone
exactly.
that
Even
knows
counseling,
the
counseling
field.
is not a direct answer.
It's
Counseling is not
guidance.
even a solution. It's guidance, because at the end of the day, what are you going to do with that information about how to work, how to manage your feelings, how to manage your emotions, how to manage how you're processing information? Like
you apply it to yourself, and you see what works, and what works you keep, what doesn't you discard, and then you go on to find someone else that will give you something else until you find what works for you. But it's still a solution.
Mix's point is basically saying that no matter what, you won't have a final answer.
Obviously, because time keeps on moving.
Yeah,
Right.
but there's people who say fuck that. Why even
and they don't want
entertain
to do
it?
the work. Yeah,
I'm just gonna
people
kill
give up.
myself.
People give up. That's not a.
That's what I'm trying to say.
If somebody gave you a solution and you still said I'm gonna give up, that's one thing. But we don't have a solution for all of that, because if that was the case, suicide rates would be down. It's just like assisted suicides. But again, it's the guidance. No one really has the true support and guidance of what.
Yeah, but you know why people don't have the guidance, bro? Is a perfect segue. Some people, you can't trust some people's guidance.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to say. They bullshit. They bullshit you.
But that's what comes back to doing the work. You yourself, as the person who's conflicted,
that's what I was trying. That's what I was trying to say
mental
too.
illness or the mental with the mental construct of how you're feeling, you still gotta de-thread that ball of yarn. You gotta put the work in. You gotta meditate.
But what do you do? What do you do when you're not as you can educate? Some people just can't retain that stuff. You know what I mean? Some people.
Right. I get that.
What do you do when the people that are supposed to guide you in the right way
don't
start to mislead you? Check this out.
Me so much, I wanted to talk to them myself.
Hi there. How are you?
On that one.
Oh wow, those are beautiful.
Candace was born with cerebral palsy and spina bifida. Sheila says she took Candace to the hospital last year to save her life. The doctors pretty much told her to abandon hope, but Sheila wasn't about to abandon her daughter.
If I had to go ahead and do what the doctors wanted me to do, I wouldn't have had her.
Tearjerker.
What was that?
Well, they wanted me to do assisted suicide death on her. She got sick here at home. We got the ambulance. When we got her to the hospital, she was having seizures. They had to give her medication, take her heart rate down.
She looks like she can understand everything that's happening right now to me.
This doctor that was seeing her first, and he came in, he told me that her kidney wasn't in the right spot. He told me the lower parts of her lungs had collapsed, so they admitted her. And the next day, when he came in, he talked to her, and then he took me in the hallway, and he just stood me up against the wall, and he told me about assisted suicide death was legal in Canada. And I said, well, he asked, did I know? And I said, no. And then he said he was all for it. And I said, well, that was your choice. And I told him I wasn't interested in anything to do with assisted suicide death. And he told me, he said I was being selfish.
What?
And he told me that he was leaving and he would be back in January, and he wanted to assist me in doing this. And I said, I'm not interested.
Basically trying to force it on her.
I wonder where he
I more
was
or less
going.
walked away from her. She heard everything.
On vacation.
This is your story.
Yeah, he was going to go see some bubbles and oceans.
You said
exactly.
a
He
couple
was
of things
going to
on the
Bora
news
Bora.
story. I remember they said, did you want to die? And what did you say?
I don't.
You don't.
Because
they were talking to
this
you
is
about
crazy,
dying.
bro. Because she has a fucked up kidney,
You think
spina
that's good?
bifida,
Same
and
for
other
a doctor
cerebral
or
palsy.
bad.
Don't fucking mean that you're retarded, bro.
Why?
I don't want to.
Like, not once did she ever say to them, I want to end my life. Not once. And this doctor that came in and next day after he told me about the assisted suicide death and stuck his face down hers and said, do you know how sick you are? And I'm just like, and when I got his eyes contact, I went, well, I was like that to get out.
Bro, I would have punched him right in his fucking mouth right there.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, it would have been problems with
told me
me.
that she was dying. I believed them. They were the
Try to do
doctors.
that in the
and
Bronx.
She was so
See,
sick. So
she believed them.
but I
They're
told
the
her if she wanted
doctors.
to go, it was good. She could go. But she didn't. She go from me.
It's enough of that.
That's sad.
Right.
No, that's sad. But no parent is
I
going to willingly.
understand the doctor. I understand the doctor.
Oh shit.
To an extent, I understand them too.
Most parents, go ahead, Corey. Most parents.
It's not even about. It's not about it being a parent. It's like, if you see somebody that you know is gonna live a terrible life because of their health conditions, a lot of people will say, yeah, you should probably put them out their misery. Now,
what's going to happen when she's 40 years old? Her parents are dead and gone, and she's got to take care of herself.
Exactly.
We have
it's
people.
hey, look, it's easy for you. It's easy for y'all to say the doctor's fucked up, but like, you don't got to take care of that person. This is just your opinion. The doctors got to take care of those people every single day. The nurses got to take care of the people every single day.
I agree with that. But this
it's
guy
like, yo,
was,
you live 40
persistent
years
on how
like
he
this.
did it.
No,
I mean, at the end of the day,
his
regardless,
approach was
the
fucked up.
person has.
Yeah, that's what I'm
has
trying to
their
say.
rights.
His approach was fucked up.
His
He could have
approach
said it
was
once
messed
and be
up.
like, "Yo, that's an option. I don't believe you want to do that, but that's an option. But there's other options.
He
I'm
was
gonna give you all
heartless
the
about
options. There's a whole bunch of options. This is an option. This is an option. You just don't say, "Yo, kill your daughter." You say, 'cause that's basically what he did. Like, yo, listen, yo, just yoke her shit. Just strangle her or throw her in the backyard or something.
Most parents aren't going to agree to that to their kid who's not of age yet. You know what I'm saying? Because I carried you, I did this, I did that, I love you unconditionally. But at the end of the day, realistically, when she's in her 40s or 50s and she can't have kids, or she doesn't have kids, I ain't gonna say she can't, but let's say she doesn't have kids, and then nobody's there to take care of her. She can't afford a hospice. She can't afford to be put in a home because how's she making this money? So what are they going to do? You're just going to let her live out and you're just going to let her live in her parents' house. And one day someone's going to come home and a wellness check and find her laying in her wheelchair.
They have nursing homes, bro. They have nursing homes. They have places where the hospice is free. They have all that, bro. That's been around for years.
You think all these nurses actually care about every single one of their patients? These people
no,
have lives
I
too.
worked in that field. I worked in that field, and most of them care. Some of them
Most
don't
of
give a
them.
fuck.
But
Most of
there's
them give a
people
fuck.
that don't.
But
Yeah.
that's a chance. That's a chance you got to take because she still has a conscious mind. She made her
No,
decision.
I'm
She
not
said, "I
saying
don't want to
she
die."
deserves it. I'm not saying she should. I'm just saying in the future, when she's in her 40s, 50s, whatever, her parents are gone.
Maybe she
and
don't
there's
make it to
nobody.
40. Maybe she
Maybe
dies
she
of her.
don't.
But
But
we
maybe
can't.
she does.
We can't make decisions based on the
Oh
future.
no,
The future
I'm
ain't.
not saying.
Future
I'm
is not
not saying they
reality,
shouldn't.
bro.
I'm not saying they
It's
should
not a
do it.
reality.
Don't. I'm not saying that. Don't take me saying that. I'm
Nah, I
just
know.
saying
I
I'm
know what
agreeing
you're
with
saying.
Dre by him
What if-
saying, "Oh, the doctor had a point, but he should have just left it at, hey, this is an option for the
I
future."
agreed with y'all
He
too.
needs-
I
he
just
needs
his
a better
approach is way
bedside man.
wrong.
Yeah,
His manners is horrible. Like,
yeah.
What if I told y'all that they're trying to use euthanasia as a cure for homelessness?
Oh,
Man has been after his social housing was put up for sale.
These
And Mayor
fucking
Pursuit, 54, is indeed suffering from an incurable back pain that's preventing him from leading a normal life and working.
It's not the one that I was supposed to pull up.
I
Anywho,
love that dude right there with the
Let's
glasses.
take that for example.
Glasses.
These homeless people who can't afford to get help, and they're like just basically rotting away on the side of the street with a little bit of money they get from people. They're eating. They're trying to live their life, but they can't afford to do anything. They can't afford to get cleaned up so they can get a job with some background history. You know what I'm saying? So like,
At the end of the day, those people can still speak for themselves, and if they don't want to live no more, they can go to a doctor and say, "Hey, listen, I want assisted suicide."
And that was my argument at the beginning of this show: is that people should do what they want, and if they want to do something
you're
to their
a conscious,
body, let them
when
do
you're
it.
a conscious human being. But do you think a 15-year-old child is someone that is completely conscious of themselves? Yeah, they're conscious of themselves. Yeah, they know they're a person, they're alive. But do they have enough logic or intuition to say, "Hey, listen, I can choose if I want to live or not"? I don't think they have that capacity yet.
And that's what I said. Over a certain amount, after your
You said a
frontal lobe develops
15-year-old?
fully.
The 15-year-old doesn't. 15-year-old, he believes he knows he believes he understands. Oh, I don't want to die, but he hasn't gone through enough.
No, get
You
him
say
help.
a regular person, not someone that's gone through crazy torture and shit. That's different. But still, they shouldn't be able to make that decision, bro. They shouldn't. They should go through more life.
Listen, I went to school with this kid, bro, and I don't even know his name anymore. I feel so bad. But his girl cheated on him, and then that same day he went home, took his dad's gun, shot himself. Boom. Right? So he was only like 15. Like what you just said, 15. He don't know what's in store. He don't know, you know what I'm saying? He don't know what's around the corner.
He doesn't
exactly.
He doesn't know that
Exactly.
you shouldn't apply yourself to give someone else your meaning of life.
Exactly.
That girl was his meaning of life. So when she left him, he felt like he had nothing else, but he was never taught these things. He didn't have enough life to learn it from someone else, or to see it, or to someone tell him, or for him just to learn it on his own. He didn't have enough life.
And that's what I'm saying. At a certain age, maybe you decide, oh, you know what? I can't live anymore. Like that homeless guy, he can't afford to live. He can't afford to do anything for himself. His back hurts, his body hurts. You know what I'm saying? He can't even hold the sign because he's got cerebral palsy in his hands or something. You know,
now,
like that's just
America, it's still pretty much illegal. So it says here, euthanasia is more commonly performed on sick or injured animals, as euthanasia for humans is illegal in the majority of the United States. But as of June 2021, the only jurisdictions that allow the procedure are Oregon, Washington, D.C., Hawaii, Washington State, Maine, Colorado, New Jersey, California, and Vermont. But it
New Jersey?
Yeah, New Jersey.
For animals only, right?
No, this is for humans, bro.
So in New Jersey, I'm like, yo, fuck, I'm out. Yeah,
But only for medical reasons. Only for medical reasons. As of April 22nd, 2024, euthanasia is illegal in all 50 U.S. states, except for involuntary euthanasia, which is legal in some circumstances.
Okay. one more. I wanted to ask you a question, Jay. Why was the name euthanasia picked for this? You say you had a definition of where that word first arose from.
Euthanize.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Nah, he had a different, like a more darker definition for it, or the actual definition.
It wasn't dark. It was just more.
Go ahead, tell me.
So euthanasia comes from the Greek. I can't even begin to even look at that word and know how to pronounce it because it's written in Greek. But it basically boils down to good death or well death.
Good death, because you would think euphoria means something good, something nice, beautiful, and then was it the second part of the word would be nasia or nized. That would be connected to death, right?
Let me find the exact breakdown.
She was telling me about that. That's kind of crazy.
It falls into the same category of like my body, my choice type of situation. It's the same thing.
Good death, awesome death, which is
the whole assisted
so the word euthanasia itself comes from the Greek words "eu" meaning good and "thanatos" meaning death. Oh shit! Wasn't that one of the superheroes' names last week?
Yes.
Thanatos.
Thanos was the one who believed in killing half the people.
No. But last week we did an episode on real superheroes, and one of the motherfuckers' names was Thanatos. So it means EU and Thanatos, good death, euthanasia. The idea is that instead of condemning someone to a slow, painful, or undignified death, euthanasia would allow the patient to experience a relatively good death.
I don't know. Is it good death?
I would say
I don't think any death is good.
Death is just as natural as birth, though. You know, like
I agree with Corey, because just listening to all this just sounds like another chapter of population control. Why would you push, why would you push the agenda and try to fund it to make it doctors giving the option that they can do that? It's like, why would you want to push that agenda unless you were trying to allow people to?
I agree with that. It's population control. It's population control.
Another form of population control.
It's just to accelerate the depopulation fucking narrative. You know what I'm saying? To accelerate.
It's almost like an invitation to be like, oh, you want to jump off a roof? That's too messy. Why don't you come check us out? You want to blast your brain out like Kurt Cobain? Why don't you come to our office? We'll help you out with that.
You know, there was a debate about euthanasia in the army at one point.
I mean, if you step on a landmine and blows three of your 4 limbs off, you know, you might want to be assisted suicide after that. Like,
yeah, but they mean like on the field.
Like you go into the army to potentially die. So it's like, oh, you know, if you have a death wish, go to the army.
But they were discussing it. They were discussing it kind of like what Corey was talking about. If somebody gets severely injured on the field, they wanted to make it legal to euthanize them right then and there, not even bring them home to euthanize them.
If the soldier wants to do that, but there's like what are you gonna get when you come back to America? You see how they treat homeless.
Yeah, but that's where the line lies, though, right? In involuntary or voluntary. Now, if a guy got half his fucking body blown up, but he wants to fucking live, do you put him? I mean, at that point, is that inhumane to let him live and suffer, or do you just end his misery involuntary?
If he wants to live, why not?
It's the same as that disabled girl.
Right. Y'all was just on the cake. Y'all was just saying, let the
I didn't hear the question.
Yeah, but I'm talking about
if y'all
on
was,
the field.
If Lieutenant Dan wants to stay alive, let him stay alive.
Yeah, at the end of Forrest Gump, the man was walking. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to live.
Forrest won't run again. He ran.
No, Lieutenant Dan walked to that man's wedding, bro.
What I'm trying to say, he has all the options to decide that shit for himself. Because at the end of the day, the doctor could get him that option. He could still say no.
Exactly.
You feel me? The doctors are not forcing it. They might seem like they're forcing it, But like we said earlier, like me and Jay said, it's the approach.
I'm gonna put y'all on game. Have y'all ever seen? So what we was talking about, how like getting help and finding like a person of guidance and stuff. There's this show on Netflix. It's called Afterlife, and it's about Ricky Gervais wrote it, and he basically is going through the whole rigmarole of depression. And his wife died of
I like
cancer.
that word. I like that word.
Appreciate it. He's going through everything he's going through it, and there's like multiple times he's attempted it, but they ask him, "Oh, why haven't you?" He's like, "Oh, I was ready, and I looked up and seen that my dog was hungry, so I figured, oh, I better go feed her." You know what I'm saying? It's little things in the show that like at the end of the, like I haven't seen the whole thing because I never really finished it, but it's a good show. Like I got sidetracked, obviously, but it's about the whole suicidal depression, all this other stuff like that. He has like really good messages in the show. And like one of them was the girl was like, "Oh, if you're an atheist, why don't you just go ahead and kill yourself if you believe in nothing?" He's like, "Oh, life is precious." You know, he goes and
According to who?
What you mean?
You say life is precious. Who the fuck said that?
No, that's what he's saying.
No,
He's
but
like,
that's what I would say. That's what I say to
yeah.
him, or that's
That's
what I
his,
say
that's his
to an
He's got it's
atheist.
that's the atheist's opinion. That's basically.
But where
That's
do you
his-
get that opinion from?
that's
From
his
himself.
that's his opinion, but he's kind of going. He goes on more in the show.
But
Like
why
I'm
is
not gonna
life
sit here and
precious?
ruin the whole show.
Because he probably
is
has a good
anybody's
life.
Why is anybody's life more valuable than anybody else's life? Why is anybody's life precious at all? Where do these
No,
ideas
he's
come
saying
from?
That's his opinion on
that he's saying he thinks that life in general is precious because he breaks it down as
I
to like,
understand that. I'm
yeah.
saying, where does he come up with this idea? This is your opinion, okay?
Same way how I
Why
think
would you come up with
basketball is
this
better than
opinion?
football.
No,
That's
this is what
You know what I
that's
think
not
most
the
this is
same
what
thing.
this is what I was saying is he's saying, I'm sorry, Jason. He was saying
No, you're good.
he was saying like he says, "Oh, you like a certain comedian." And she's like, "Yeah." He says, "All right, so at the end of the movie, you already know how it's going to happen. You already know that it's going to end. Why even watch it?" And she's like, "Because I can watch it again." And he's like, "That's why I think life is precious, because you can't live it again."
How do you
get what
know
I'm
that?
saying?
That shit is
We don't
fucking
don't know
That's what
that.
I'm
We
saying.
don't
That's
know
what
that.
atheists
Nobody
believe.
knows. That's
Well,
what a
we
lot
do
of
know
people.
that energy never dies.
Nah,
Yeah,
we
but
assume that
Yes, we
energy
do.
never dies.
We do.
Yeah,
We do.
you don't
There's
you don't
science
really
on
know
that.
that either.
We don't know nothing, bro.
There's science on that, bro.
You know what I do
true.
know?
We
The
don't even
atoms
know if we
know?
landed on the
teleport
moon
and
for real.
No, we know we didn't.
I know
Listen,
you
we
know,
did an
Jay.
episode on that. We know Stanley Kubrick already fucking wrote that script. But you know what I do know about life and what kind of does make it precious?
Dizzle.
Word from our sponsor.
Dizzle for my shizzle.
Let me tell you guys about these new Dizzle edibles. Now, I know you probably heard of the
Tell me,
drink,
baby.
and just like the drink, these edibles are the truth. I'm typically a smoker, and I usually like to do it before I drive to take some of the angst off this LA traffic. But with these edibles, I don't even think about rolling up. I don't have to worry about the aroma when I get out of the car, my eyes being red. I just pop in one and I'm good to go. I'm feeling happy and ready to just take on my day. Each edible comes with 25 milligrams. You get 10 in a package, which is more than enough because, again, all you need is one and it'll get you right.
All right. I need to update these commercials. Go get you a bottle of Dizzle. What is happening? That was not supposed to be syrup. Anywho, this assisted suicide is it's a scale, right? Because on one hand, you have the people that really need it. On the other hand, you have the dumb motherfuckers that don't need it and that are taking advantage of it. And right in somewhere in the middle of that, just making everything pretty much balanced, is the people that don't want it but get it because they're forced to.
What is we're talking about? What is this?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Are you talking about
the whole
suicide?
procedure of the
Yeah.
I stepped away to get a drink while we was on.
No, I
commercial.
mean
Sorry.
you made that shit seem mad vague, like it was something else for a second. It's like we still talking about
Let's
assisted
fucking kill these
suicide.
motherfuckers.
I'm lost now.
There's
I
no
lost my train
loss,
of thought.
man. You was talking about that. It's okay in
Right? No, it's
situation.
a scale. It's a pendulum almost. You know what I mean?
I think I said it before. I'm gonna say it again. I think people should be allowed to just do whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? If they feel a certain way about themselves, we're already altering their appearance because they feel like they were born a different gender or identity. If they want to do it, bro, let them do it. Donate their organs to people who need
I
it.
have
You know
I
what I'm
have
saying?
an issue with that whole thing too. I
Yeah,
don't
but
wanna go down that rabbit hole.
can you even give your organs to somebody else if you use the euthanasia thing?
If you
Because
shoot
it's
them in the head,
pumping chemicals into you though.
I was about to say, yeah,
And
it would be better if you just like shot yourself in the head if you were gonna donate your
We
kidney.
didn't need it. We
people who
didn't
take
need it
sleeping
before. We
pills
don't
and
need that shit.
overdose can still donate their heart. They can still donate their lungs. It's the same thing. If you're pumping chemicals and everything else, but somebody
Yeah,
who
but you're
drowned
not-
can still donate their brain.
Yeah, but it's different. The shit that they pump into your brain is
Yeah,
like
you could
poison.
donate it, but ain't
It's
nobody
a
gonna
le-
take it.
It's a lethal dose of poison. You see, when you take medications, you're dying because your body can't process that shit. It's a whole different. It's a whole different procedure of killing yourself. Bro.
I get what you're saying, but
we
what
didn't
I'm
need it
saying is
before.
like we didn't need what?
We didn't need assisted suicide before. We don't need it now. It's just another avenue of
Man,
what
let 'em
Mick
do
said
it.
early.
Let them do it. In my opinion, let them do it.
Because listen, if you let them do
why
it,
don't we just get the breakdown then?
Listen,
what do you think, Corey? Real quick, what do you think about your assisted suicide? Do you think it should stay ever evolving the way it is, or do you think they should just abolish it?
I think that if you're at a certain age group, over that certain age, and you say, "Hey, my life is in shambles, my life is destroyed," or blah blah blah, whatever it is, you can get as much help as you want, but at the end of the day, like I said earlier, you can't help somebody who just don't want to be helped. So if they want to say, "Oh, hey, my life is horrible," all right, well, hey, we have an option for you. We're gonna euthanize you, and we have a way to donate the organs that are still useful. You know what I'm saying? I would say, let them do it. If they don't think they value their life as much as that, go ahead.
Hello, you can hear me? I didn't hear you, Jason. Well, I think
what you think?
I kind of agree with Corey to a certain extent. I don't think it should go down this route. They have to tighten up the policies behind it, but I definitely do believe that this is just another procedure or another fucking option where it's going down the avenue of how much they could fucking liquefy from it, how much money they can make from it, because they don't really give a fuck. People are gonna kill themselves if this option is there or not. They're gonna do it regardless of the fact. But this right here is advertising it. This right here might make it worse than what it really is. You say so we might get more deaths, unnecessary deaths. Most likely we're gonna have more unnecessary deaths. So I feel like this whole procedure of euthanization has to be picked up and just thrown away, and they have to figure out a different way of how to go down this route or continue the hotlines, try something else. Because advertising this thing like this, all it's gonna do is get bigger. It's gonna get more known. People are gonna understand it. People are gonna be like, "Oh, you know what? We should." And it's just gonna grow faster, and suicides is gonna go out the roof even more than what it already is. I feel like it should be scrapped. This entire thing is a fucking hoax. It's just for more money and propaganda. That's all it is. It's displaying more suicide. I can't hear you, Jason.
What about you, Miguel? What you think about this this euthanasia topic?
kind of on the same path with Macho and Corey. After hearing this,
they had two different views.
All
by
right,
the way.
well, but either way, like, I still think this is a horrible idea. It's very inhumane, and the fact that we have people in this world pushing that narrative or idea to do this, it's extremely inhumane, bro. Like, there's just no care for human life value in itself, and it feels like I was saying earlier, another way to push population control. Just like how somehow COVID came out and started killing people. The people who are putting the idea behind this, that they're backing it and supporting it, I don't think that's what they really believe. It's more of like a charged or injected sense of ideal that came from somebody else, and they probably have the money and power to push it on people rather than it just coming up as like an organic conversation or topic of solutions. This is just extremely inhumane. The fact that people are finding a medical lawful way to kill themselves is still not the answer. You don't answer anything else that would have made this whole process easier. Just like anybody else, whether it's for fitness, life, or anything else, get your shit together, get to work on it. If there's no solution, you keep looking for a solution, because at the end of the day, with all due respect, and I'm trying to say this as low level as possible, if you're gonna go do all that and off yourself, go do it somewhere where you're not affecting your family, friends, making a scene, making a mess. Just go somewhere else and do that quietly within your own peace without involving anybody else. So at the end of the day, it looks like you're just doing that for attention, even though you still want to off yourself. That's no way to remember anybody's legacy and their life, by either assisting or allowing them to take their own life without any kind of support. There's always support out there. There's always somebody you can talk to, even if taking your life is never the answer, with or without help.
So you basically, there is a such thing as tourist suicide, right? That, like, for example, there's a place in Japan that there's a forest that people just go to commit suicide. But I digress.
I'm not saying it should be a special place for that, but at the end of the day, just don't bring the attention.
Why he got jobless on his suit?
Can I state one more time
last week?
Can I state one more time that I don't condone suicide? I'm just condoning that people should do whatever they want.
I can agree with that as well.
Which is suicide.
That's all I'm saying.
Right. Dre, what do you think about the topic euthanasia?
I agree with Corey. I think people are gonna do whatever they're gonna do, man.
Praise God.
It's really that simple. People gonna do whatever they want to do. So, like, remember you talking about Kevorkian earlier, and I'm like, yeah, he's crazy because he was like really passionate about this. But people are gonna do whatever they're gonna do.
Yep.
Whether you want to help them or not, they're gonna find a way to get it done if they really want to do it.
Word.
I listen. I don't want none of y'all to think. I agree with Corey and Dre about the whole. I believe people should have their own choice. If they want to kill themselves, they should be able to kill themselves. I just think that the program isn't essential for that. It's not vital.
I understand.
I feel like it's corrupting. You feel me? Like, the program shouldn't be scrapped. That's just, what I'm saying. It shouldn't.
Maybe back to the drawing board for now to figure out what
you know what I'm saying? Because this, to me, it seems like you're advertising suicide.
Get some better bedside manners.
Literally,
exactly.
fucking advertising it.
You're advertising. You saw the advertisement.
Yeah, that's
right.
And I did say at that point, I was like, yo, that's a little
and like we said earlier, social media is in the hands of our children. Like, literally, my children have laptops.
The world, it's not just social media.
So it's everywhere. They're gonna see it one day. They'll be like, "Oh, I can't get a PlayStation 5. I want to die."
But listen to this, Macho.
Or like the other guy, I don't have a girlfriend.
Listen, yeah.
Come on.
Listen to this though too.
8 billion bitches.
You can go your whole life working your hands to the bone, breaking your back, getting a 401k, doing exactly like you're doing now, and you'll never make as much money as one of these streamers who all they do is sit in front of their computer and stream.
Well, goddamn, we do it every week. Where's our motherfucking money? With that being said, I'm gonna give my thoughts on this fucking episode. Right?
Let's get it, baby.
This is what I fucking think. right, about this fucking euthanasia shit.
You
I
tell 'em.
think it only should go for the people that absolutely need it. You motherfuckers that are complaining about disorders and mental disabilities and shit, stuck it the fuck up, get up, do something about it, talk to somebody. If you have urges of killing yourself, like I said before, don't fucking call the hotline. They're going to make you feel worse. They're very condescending. Very. They suck. I called twice in one night and they made me feel worse, bro.
Jay, did they ask you what your religion was? Like one of the first questions they
Yeah.
asked you?
Bro, on top of that, I got the same guy.
You ain't
twice.
lying, bro. I called him 30 minutes later, got the same woman.
Right? How, bro?
I spent 15
How'd I get
minutes.
the same person?
I spent 15 minutes on the phone with her, hung up, called back, got the same woman, and she sounded like she just woke up out
Them
of bed.
hotlines are the same people advertising euthanasia, bro. Same motherfuckers.
Look, euthanasia at the end of the day,
they're the same people.
At the end of the day, euthanasia for elderly, the terminally ill, and people with those types of ailments,
real
I think real problems should have the benefit of euthanasia. Now, when it comes to homeless people, kids, people with disorders, I don't believe in it. All right. Now, you might say, Jason, you're a hypocrite because you don't believe in euthanasia for kids, but you believe in abortions. It's the same thing. Motherfucker, it's the same thing to an extent. Because if the parent doesn't want the child, why bring the child into this world for you to only euthanize it? Suck my dick. All right? All I'm saying is that we made a lot of good points in this episode. And we
don't condone suicide.
Right. We definitely don't condone suicide. If you need the help, call somebody. If you have nobody to call, Talking Junk Network is the handle for all of our social media. Reach out to us. We'll make you fucking laugh and feel like you need to be on this earth. And hell, if you're really bad, we'll add you to the show because you need to be here.
Play that commercial of Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help. That's all you got to put. Stop it.
Word. Stop it. Get some help. But like I said before, we made a lot of good points on this episode, but no point was bigger and better than all these motherfucking streamers are rich. All right? We're fucking streamers. We want to be rich. You know how we're going to be rich? If you like, share, and subscribe to all our shit. Because we're going to be here every fucking week giving you this heat down the barrel, baby. And one thing is for sure. You don't like me? Bitch, change the station. We love you. Peace out.
Thank you for tuning in to Talk